Today I wanted to share a bit of my work I'm doing around the coronavirus analysis. I take the data from worldometer.com and I try to understand how developments are in different countries. I focus obviously in countries I'm interested in because I have family in Germany, I have family in Italy, a family in the United States, in UK, and obviously here in Spain. So I will focus on these, and what I try to understand is how fast uh, the coronavirus spreads in every country and how the death toll, daily death toll is also developing. So I wanted to share this with you. We'll do some screen grabbing for you so you can better understand how I work on this data. And then I wanted to share with you the results and the prediction forecast I have developed so far. Sheet I'm working at. So I count the days from lockdown since lockdown at 22nd of January in Wuhan, and then 23rd there was lockdown in other cities in China. So that's the count of days. So you see I am counting DD stands for daily death, Spain, ES, Italy, IT, USA, DAY8 for Germany, UK for United Kingdom, CORE for South Korea, and CHI for China. So I did the same then here in the top rows. You see the new daily cases for Spain, Italy, United States, Germany, UK, Korea, China. And then over here, I had also recoveries and some information here at the right, some estimations I did. This is in Spanish, it's not so relevant. So basically, what I did here, I just take all information, real data from China. As you can see, China, we have China data since the lockdown in China. That's the daily deaths. You can see that the top death numbers are around day 24 to day 33. So that is the range, the window we have to observe also for the other countries. Then we can also see that new cases were not reported, were not detected. You see in Korea, they started only the 16th of February detecting cases, while in China they were over the peak already here. They were over the peak with new cases. It was 5,000 around 5,000 day 12 and 14, and then they went down. So what does that mean? So what I did is just to start counting from lockdown here in Spain, the 9th of March. The problem is we had already 13, this is Italy. Spain, we had 13 deaths. Italy had 97 when they locked down. If we compare this with China here, they locked down and they had only 8 deaths and 259 cases. So again, down to Italy, March 9. They had 97 deaths and 1,797 new cases. Spain followed 14th of March, where we locked down at 63 deaths. So we're similar to Italy, 6 days relay. Italy was already 175, and then Italy and 3,500 new cases, while we were at 1,159. Similar, bit lower than Italy, but you can see day before we were counting 2,000 already. So that is very close to what Italy had. Well, now we are today at 22nd of March. You see the numbers are dramatically growing. This exponential growth. It is daily. It's not weekly. It's daily rates. You can see what we expect. We expect the same numbers than you can see Italy. We are already at 288 daily deaths yesterday. Italy was in 793. While the other countries you can see also develop, the United States will quickly pick up, like Germany, UK, and while Korea and China have it basically under control. 23rd of March, 10:13 here in Europe, Central European time. We have some reason to be hopeful. Italy reported yesterday a drop in daily death of almost 150 people, and also the new infected dropped more than 1,000, while the recovered, you can see here, also went a bit up. So that looks good, while Spain is still going up. Obviously all the laggards in the United States, Germany, UK are still growing, while I have my doubts about the numbers of Germany. I expect them to peak the next days. That doesn't make any sense. Well, good news from Italy. Hopefully this trend continues. As I told you before, if you look at the estimations here, You see my estimations over here. The peak for new daily is expected between yesterday and day 31. Hopefully we can see a trend very early. And hopefully also the peak of daily this will also change and will be earlier. So that's good to know. So let's hope that things develop better in the future, in the next days for Italy and also for Spain. This is the basic data I'm taking in every morning. I want to show you what I'm doing with this data. So first of all, I wanted to know the comparing with China. I will do this a bit bigger for you so you can see the data on the screen. Sure. So what I try to find is the X factor comparing China with from the lockdowns. So what I compare what's the X factor multiplication factor versus China. So we can see that we only compare the new cases and the daily deaths because the recovery date is quite you see not coherent. The numbers are really spread, so I don't want to look at this right now. We may look at this in the next 5-6 days because recoveries maybe are not even measured because people are released and many people recover. We don't know. So basically the right data we have, the data we can trust a bit more is the death rate. So what is very interesting is that Italy had started with 12 times more deaths, daily deaths at lockdown. That went up to 13 times, and we are now at 12 times compared with China. And you see we're talking about 13 days. So at day 13 after lockdown, the daily deaths in Italy are 12 times higher than China. Spain is lower, consistently lower, between 6 and 8 peaks. So still much bigger, higher the death rates here. So that's something that is very interesting to observe and also worrying. The daily new cases are also higher. Like we start with 4 times higher in Spain, almost 7 times more. Italy, this is coming down now as China also developed it dramatically after day 10. So still it's much higher. We are below 2 in both cases, so close to twice, and 1.7 times more daily new cases right now. While we also have seen the data from yesterday 22nd here, you can see how Spain is very close now to Italy. They're both around between 8.5 and 8.9 times the daily deaths of China. So I will give you more information about this in the following days. Okay, I wanted to share with you what I'm publishing every day, or almost every day, as long as I have time. This is basically the peak forecast I'm preparing. So I try to understand when will we hit the peaks for daily deaths and daily new cases in all the countries. What's the problem? The problem is that we do not have real lockdowns yet in Germany, in the UK, or the United States. People can still move around, so that does not help us to forecast anything. So the only countries I can forecast right now with certain a certain idea are Italy and Spain, because they have total lockdown of the country. So first of all, why do we do this? It's because we only China data. Lockdown happened January 23rd, basically 22nd, 23rd, 2 days. That took them. So we take January 23rd as lockdown date. And what happened in China was that they peaked the new daily cases between days 12 and 23, and the new daily deaths between 21 and 32 after lockdown. So if we look at this graph here, we can see perfect. There's a first peak after day 12 here, like around 4,000 new cases, and then the death peak is between the days 21, 32. They're just, it's not exactly clear when the peaks were happening, so I have to work with windows here. So these are the windows we are observing. So I want to go directly to my Excel file there. So I told you before the multiplicator factors comparing with China here. This is the Italy graph. You can see that the daily death multiplicators between 7 and 13 times higher than China day by day. Spain is a bit lower, but you can see they overlap in certain days. So it's still ever on average, Spain is a bit better off with factors between 3.2 and 8, as you can see. So what about daily death rates? You can see in red the China. China peaked. You can see here. This is the window I talked about before. That like these 11 days where we have peaks. So we cannot say it exactly when the peak will happen. So it is a window. Yeah. Then it goes down after the day 32. Yeah. You can see that the daily deaths in Italy and Spain are much stronger. They are top the Chinese data since quite some time already. And the daily new, you can also see here some also included here in the new cases of Germany, UK. So you can see all that this data is not consistently reported every day. There's an inconsistency there. If you compare again with the daily death, they're much more. The graphs are more fluent, and there's no these peaks. There are no interruptions in the data reporting. But in the daily new, that's also due because of the fact that there are too many people coming into the hospital, and they don't have sometimes maybe time to just report everything. That's the reason we have like inconsistent data here. Okay, now let's go directly into the forecast the window forecast. So for Italy, lockdown March 9th, take into account what we just heard about China and what the forecast that day between days 12 and 23 after lockdown there. So we forecast the peak for new daily cases between March 21st and April 1st for Italy, and the new daily death peak between days 21 and 32 after lockdown. So March 30 to April 10th. Regarding Spain, same thing. Lockdown was March 14th. We expect therefore the peaks between March 26 and April 6, and the peak for new daily cases between days 21 and 32 again. That would be April 4th and April 15th. What the problem is with the other countries, we have no lockdown there, so I will not be able to forecast anything here. I have no idea for Germany, nor for the United States, nor for UK. That's because we don't know what is the strategy of the countries regarding if they do massive testing now, if like Korea did, it was successful, but I think that's too late, just too many cases already. So that will be not possible because it will not have tests enough. So the only thing that should do that radically shut down everything like Italy, Spain did, to be able to get this under control.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I want to finish here, but I'd like to thank you for listening to my analysis so far. I'm hopeful. I think the lockdowns are working, and I'm sure that we will have better news in the coming 10 to 15 days for Italy and for Spain. So just, show your resilience, support each other, help your neighbors, call your friends, call your family, just be there for them, listen, and try to establish routines in the lockdown period. We're doing this here every day. And I wish you all the best. Stay safe, and see you tomorrow again. Bye bye.